Hey YouTube, it's Cape Cod Cuda. Just bought this 1957 Ford F-150. It's been sitting, I don't even know how long. Some guy bought the property and it had a couple of cars left there from the previous owners. He bought a car restoration place. He restores cars also, but this is one of the cars that was left behind and he didn't have a title on it. So he had it on Craigslist. I first seen it when it was $350 with no title, and he dropped it down. I called him on it. I thought it was still $350. I called him on it, asked him if he still had it. He said, "Yeah." So he gave me his address. I went down to the library to print it out, and I said, "I'm going to print out the ad too. Since the truck has no title, I want some kind of paperwork to show that I bought it off Craigslist, you know?" So I printed out, I found the ad and I printed it out. Well, the ad turned around and said $250. He had dropped the price on it. And he didn't say nothing to me, and I didn't know. So when I went out there to go get it, I was expecting to pay $250. Well, he tried to get me to pay the $350 for the truck, and I was like, "Oh, well, I seen this," and I showed him the paper before I left. So he's like, "Oh, yep, I guess at one time I did drop it down to $250. I guess I'm gonna have to take $250 for it." And he loaded it with the forklift. I helped him. I carried the hood by myself, put it in there, and we had picked up the nose together and brought it in. You know, walked with the nose. And I had picked up the back of the frame, and he put it on the forklift, and then I picked it way up in the air and like hooked it onto the forklift, and he drove over to the truck and put it on there, and we picked it up, slid it up there, and then we wrestled this off the forklift. We picked it up with the forklift and wrestled it off of it, and had to keep picking it up over the frame humps and sliding it forward so we could get the bed on there. And then we brought the bed over with the forklift. I had to hold down on the back half of it to keep it from teetering while it was on the forklift, and I had to walk holding it down. And then we had to pick it up over the frame. We put it on the frame, but the forklift only could go, because I had my tailgate down, and it would stop at the end of the tailgate. The wheels would hit it. So we had to pick up the front of it and drag it over the frame and pick it up over the humps that are in the frame and the mounts and shit like that. We busted up the floor, throwing it around, trying to get it up here and stuff like that. But I told them that I was interested in the truck to put it up over F-150. I'm gonna put it on a newer F-150. I'm gonna reskin a F-150. I figured I might cut right here under the cowl, cut the firewall out, and leave this part, because this is where the doors are. The doors mount right here. So I'll leave this part, goes all the way down, and I'm probably going to try to see if I can cut the floor out and mate it onto my F-150 floor, and keep my firewall, the F-150 firewall. So I'll have the steering wheel coming down to the steering. I won't change any of that. All the wire harness places will be in the same spots and everything like that. The brake booster will be. I'm not going to change any of that. I'm just going to go right across the top here, and then try to section it in onto the other cab. And I'm just gonna, just bolt this nose up on it and stuff like that. The other nose is already off the truck. The bed's off the truck and everything like that. So I think on the bed, this bed's rotted. These rails are good, but the bed's rotted. As you can see, the bed's in good condition. It's got some surface works right here, but it's still real solid. And so what I'm thinking is that I'll cut out the floor. I have to get another bed, because this bed's longer, and I don't have a bed. So I have to get another bed. I know where a F-250's bed is, all crushed up. I don't know how the floor is, but if I can cut out the floor and put it in this floor, then this bed will be in good condition. The tailgate, I seen the tailgates. They make reproduction tailgates. The tailgate's a little scaly, rusty. I don't know how good it is. You know, I went there, I looked at it, gave it a little visual, but for $250, I figured, oh, I'm gonna grab it. And like I said, this bedside's good. Going down to the cab corners, you can't really see that much. I know that. It's got the little back window. The other window comes around, and it comes right up to this body line. It looks cool when you go to look out that like the back corners. You'll be able to see right out. That looks kind of cool. But I kind of like this little back window. And it's got the Ford Motor Company, Ford Moco. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got the original glass is still in the truck. I was looking at this inspection sticker trying to figure out what year. I know it's not much left on it. I was trying to make out what it said. I see a NS right there, and then I see a NIA. So I was trying to make that up, what it says. You see somewhat some date stuff. During the daytime, I'd probably be able to read it better. See what that inspection, how old that inspection is. The weather stripping around is dry and cracked and stuff like that, but the glass is in real good shape. It's got some light scratches from windshield wipers on it. I don't know if you can polish that off. Cowl's in real good shape. Look at me, I'm sweating. Oh, the purpose of the video. And there's the frame. I got the frame too. Look at it. They redid all the bushings and stuff like that. They were gonna restore the car, and I don't know what happened. But look at this. So I'm bringing it home. I traveled almost, I think 160 miles or something like that. I'm like 30 miles from home. I'm on the highway. I feel this vibration. I'm like, oh no. Look at that. Front tire blew out on me. I drove this thing. It blew out, and I pulled over at the exit. I drove it on the grass, and I drove up to the exit, and it said Florida Turnpike. I'm like, man, that's to get on the highway. I don't want to fucking go up there. So I could see a mall in the distance on the other side of the bridge, because I had to go under a bridge overpass. So I got out of the truck, and I put the flashes on, and I walked up the ramp, and I seen the Florida Turnpike station there. It's where I-4. I was on I-4, and it was exit 77 to where it's a Florida Turnpike in Orlando. So I walk up the ramp. One of the guys is in the parking lot. He goes, "Hey, go to the door. Knock on the door. They have a free roadside service. It's free." So I was like, I don't have a spare. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I took the spare out of the truck the other day for some reason. I took the spare, the jack, and the four-way out of the truck. I forget what I put in the back that I had to take it out, and I never put it back in. This was like a couple of days ago. So the lady said I technically wasn't on the turnpike. I wasn't on the Florida Turnpike, so they couldn't help me. I was at the exit 77 from Interstate 4 to get onto the turnpike, and they wouldn't help me because I wasn't on the turnpike. And I was thinking to myself, I can turn onto the turnpike. I'm at the bottom of the turnpike to come on. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I'll just drive up in their parking lot. You know? But then I was like, you know what, I really don't want to get on the turnpike because it's not the way I was going home. And I wanted to go somewhere where I wasn't afraid that my car was going to get towed away, or one of these tow companies go take my car and impound it and I can't get it out. I got like 15 seconds left. But anyways, Yeah, they wouldn't help me, so I ended up going down 2 more exits in the grass. I drove on the side of the road in the grass, and I pulled into the Millennium Mall. I'm at Best Buy parking lot.